Even before she'd led Gregoire up the stairs of the house on Rue de Rempart, which she was looking after so reliably that Moira had confirmed the job was hers for the rest of the summer if she wanted it, Tabby knew this would become a regular arrangement too, if he wanted it. Worse than that, she knew it would become the highlight of her week, as if in spite of all higher ambition, nothing but human intimacy was in the end worth looking forward to. What would Steve say to that? Even as they were kissing, undressing, groaning, giggling, she was rendering obsolete her own justifications, creating new ones in their place. This is a link to living, she was telling herself. Without it, I might disintegrate and die. And who would notice? Who would care? Doing this, at least I care. And Gregoire cared too, didn't he? While he was inside her, he cared. Maybe for a few minutes afterwards, too. The logistics of the thing had taxed her somewhat. She was, after all, supposed to be working, and it was not the kind of work you could take home with you and catch up on later. She'd calculated that if she brought from the stocks at home a bedsheet of her own, she could still strip the beds and get the used linen in the machine at the start of her shift in the usual way. If she attacked the kitchen and bathrooms at top speed, completing them before he arrived, she could earn herself a longer than usual break. If she left for afterwards only the mopping of the tiles and the remaking of the beds, if she limited her time with him to an hour or so, then she could fit it in. The hard bit, it would turn out, was not the muscular exhaustion that followed accelerated and intensive cleaning. Adrenaline and lust counteracted that well enough that she had all evening to rest in any case, but the discipline required to limit herself to a single hour before kicking him out.
I have no hurry,
he told her, naked and relaxed on the bed as she began to dress. No, but I do. I'm working here, Gregoire. You're my lunch break.
I'll watch you finish your work,
he proposed. I think you should go home, she told him. Aren't you worried your wife will be wondering where you are?
She has not any consequence where I am.
That makes no sense.
Then we must speak French if you want to make sense,
he said playfully. I don't have time to speak French. A reluctance to leave on his part had not been scheduled for. She had expected, and would have preferred in the circumstances, an adulterer who had his clothes on and was out of the door within 10 minutes of ejaculation. She did not ask what his alibi was. He would only deny he had need of one, peddle his nonsense about separating from his wife, but supposed it must have been easily enough concocted. This is surreal, she thought, hearing the washer-dryer enter its spin cycle downstairs and wondering how easy it was going to be to smuggle back home the used sheet Gregoire was sprawled upon and get in and out of Emmy's washing machine without detection. Very easy, she decided. If not at her beloved laptop, then Emmy was more often than not absorbed in a book or her own thoughts. She would have thought he'd be more aware of the risk of this situation, unless, of course, it was the risk that aroused him in the first place. You might be able to delude yourself, but you don't delude me, she told him, as he at last prepared to leave.
Yes, Tabitha,
he said, sly, satisfied, happy now to joke.
You know me so very well.
She wished she had thought to use a false name with him, allowed herself to escape Tabby Dewhurst and be someone else completely. At home, she dealt with the bedsheet and switched the kettle on, still on her feet, but already anticipating the sweetness of the forthcoming collapse. 4 hours of cleaning condensed into 3. 1 hour of sex, 30 minutes of walking, and dinner still to cook. Just as she'd told Moira, she had a lot of energy. Judging by the sound of running water from above, Emmy was taking a bath. She had her own regular Saturday changeovers, 2 fishermen's cottages on the same street in La Flotte, which, with a little ingenuity, could just about be squeezed into the standard 11 to 3 slot.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.